Thank you so much to our colleague Devin Chwela. Now moving on with more conversations, Ankit Gems Namibia Diamonds has built a legacy of innovation, sustainable development and investment in the Namibian diamond sector. Having first established operations with only 15 employees in 2009, the company has gone to employ 150 people and now launches a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art facility to expand further. With views on what this means for the company, but also the industry's downstream future, we're joined by Brent Aseb, who is the CEO of the Namibia Diamond Trading Company, as well as Arun Shah, who is the chairperson of the Ankit Gems Group. Gentlemen, good morning, and thank you to the both of you for making time to be here. Maybe perhaps let me start with you, Mr. Arun, and talk about what really was a starting point initially that led to the origins of the investments here of Ankit in Namibia and what prompted the initial investment.
Okay, so we are here, we are working in diamond industry for 50 years and we search for the market, how we can benefit ourselves and the country. So we search Namibia. We came here in Namibia. It's a beautiful country. We met, we met Mines of Ministry. We met NDTC, and we show our presentation to them, how we want to work here in Namibia. So they are in confidence with us. We show the presentation and they are very confident. The next day, the founder, president called us to his home and he advised very nicely about Namibia and it touched our heart and we become thinking ourselves, we will work in Namibia. And then we find out our other partners in Namibia and we started the work with about 10-15 people. That way our journey started in Namibia.
Mr. Aseb, looking at the Namibia Diamonds Trading Company being a state-owned enterprise, but looking at the dynamics and the opportunities and the challenges with the downstream sector and how the sector has evolved since then, what are some of the major milestones that the downstream, has recorded so far in terms of contributions that have been made in the presence of companies like Ankit in Namibia?
Okay, thank you. Good morning to you and good morning to the viewers. I think downstream beneficiation, we started that probably about 18 years ago. The idea of adding value to our diamonds in line with obviously a country's ideals of how do we take our natural resources and create more opportunities, particularly for the citizens of Namibia. So that was the overarching objective from that standpoint. Obviously, we've had to partner with companies like Ankit Gems and many others. At the moment, NDTC is supplying rough diamonds for value addition purposes in Namibia for up to 12 companies. And these companies are selected through quite a robust process to make sure that obviously we deal with the best in the world in terms of value addition. And what we require from them is really, one, meeting all the legislative requirements, but most importantly, to set up cutting and polishing facilities like the one that Ankit inaugurated on Friday, with a view to create sustainable jobs for Namibians first and foremost. And when you talk about sustainable, it's very important because what we don't want is, in the sector, particularly when we talk about the skills that we have, employment one day and the next day we don't have that employment in place. So sustainability is very, very key. But in addition to that, we also want quality jobs. So we do implore on companies like Ankit Gems, Namibia and others to ensure that there's skills transfer that takes place from that perspective. So if I can maybe just touch on that, I mean, the first one is really around creating sustainable jobs. And we are proud to say that over the last 18 years, this sector has created in excess of 1,200 direct jobs, sustainable jobs. But more importantly, I think when you look at it, it supports over 3,000 indirect jobs through ancillary services like security, catering, construction. So there's the knock-on effect and the multiplier effect from a job creation perspective is significant in terms of the downstream industry.
Maybe talking about perhaps the institutional role in terms of this collaboration that has played in the advancements of the downstream value chain. What has been the rock and perhaps some of the benefits from this collaboration?
It's been. I mean, we touched on the job creation, but I think what is also important is for us to be able to create those jobs. We need to have an enabling environment. So where companies like Ankit Gems Namibia comes in is not just the expertise. I mean, he's talking to. I don't talk about 50 years of expertise that is being brought into Namibia. It's ensuring that we have the right infrastructure, and I think when you talk about it. Just to look at the numbers, them alone have spent close to $130 million from an investment perspective in terms of technology and infrastructure. If you look at the entire industry over the last 5 years, all of these companies have spent in excess of $500 million Namibian dollars just on infrastructure and technology. And that is significant because what that does is it creates sustainability for the industry. Indeed. In addition to that is that we are then able to transfer those technological skills to Namibians. So it's not just the basic skills of cutting and polishing, it's the world-class technology that these companies bring to Namibia and that are then transferred to Namibians from that perspective. It has also laid a foundation where I think today we can start to think about how do we create much more integration and involvement of the citizens across the diamond value chain. So on the back of that, we've also launched what we call our Enterprise Development Program, which then identifies Namibians that can then be part of the industry from that perspective. So not just be cutters and polishers, but owners of these businesses across the entire value chain. And I think to your question, I mean, the relationship that we've been able to build on a commercial basis has actually translated into unlocking those opportunities for Namibia as a natural diamond producing country.
Wonderful. Now, Mr. Arun, let's talk about the establishment of the Ankit Gems Namibia Diamond Cutting and Polishing Factory, especially this expansion and the launch that you did last week, Friday. It aligns with the Namibian government's overarching policy framework, such as the 6 Developmental Plan, NDP 6, and Vision 2030. Why did you see the need to continue investing and to align to government priorities in Namibia?
See, there is a lot of challenges up to 2030. But we see in future how to grow and how to do value addition. So now the government is mining, NDTC is giving the rough, we are just polishing here and export worldwide. But in future, we'll put our more investment in make the jewelry here, sell the jewelry to tourists and Namibians. So we add value on all mining stone to all the process, mining here, polishing here, make jewelry here, do the shop and sell here the jewelry. So our next goal is to do jewelry shop and manufacturing of jewelry. See, it is big task. See, when we started our business, the Namibian people is not aggressive to work. So what we did, we sent some people from here to Ankit Gems Namibia, Ankit Gems Mumbai, Surat. We train them, we give the vision, how to work. So they worked there for 6 months. They came back in Namibia, Windhoek, and there the expertise give the knowledge to other people and how we grow. So similar thing we do in jewelry as well. This is a basic idea. And we looking for the other sector as well.
Mr. Brian, let's talk about the fact that, we know the industry right now is under threat, sort of, to say, the issue of the rise of synthetic diamonds. How, with this investment now, for instance, Ankit is doing, how will they ensure that, Namibia still continues to stay above, mitigate the markets? There are challenges. Botswana is facing challenges. They are perhaps more hit hard than Namibia because it's being said that the economy is more or less diverse than compared to ours. How important is also diversification in this process when he's talking about the fact that you want to mine here, you want to stone here, you want to make the jewelry here, make shops and sell them also here?
Yeah, I think it's really important. So on a number of fronts, I think most importantly, the investment of that magnitude, first and foremost, is a show that obviously. Companies like Ankit Gems believe in not just natural diamonds, but also in Namibia and its people. So that's the most important part, I think, for us to consider. But I think being able to integrate the value chain in Namibia, as Arun mentioned, allows us to tell the Namibian story, right? Because when you look at it in terms of natural versus what we call lab-grown diamonds, what the consumer wants to understand when they buy, even when they go into the jewelry store, is to understand as to, okay, so this is the price, it's a natural diamond, this is the price of that diamond. But more importantly, where does that diamond come from? And how does it add to the community from where it comes from? And I think being able to integrate the value chain, as Arun Bhai has mentioned, is important, because what it allows us to do is to tell the entire Namibian story as it is. So when you think about it, it's the diamonds are recovered in Namibia, they're sought and valued in Namibia by Namibians, they're cut and polished by Namibians, the jewelry is manufactured by Namibians, and is sold by Namibians. That is diamonds touching at every point of the value chain, Namibians, the lives of Namibians, impacting livelihoods, impacting the economy of the country. And what that allows us is to tell the Namibian story, to say, what are the good that diamonds do for Namibia? And that is the differentiator versus natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds. So I think that's what, if we were able to do that over the next few years and decades, it really strengthens our position from a natural diamond perspective in terms of the position in natural diamonds with consumers globally.
So I will add something in this. See, the lab-grown diamond will use for fashion, basically. And natural diamond is fashion as well the asset for the family. And people will look in the natural diamond, love and peace. So, see, today the lab-grown is just came. But in future, slowly, if we do the right advertisement, it will come back nicely in some time. And it will be grow again.
Unfortunately, we are running out of time, and we have a news bulletin that is coming up right now. Then what then is the future? Perhaps let me start with you, Mr. Brent. In terms of the future, we see this introduction in terms of investment. Will this investment that has been done by Ankit Namibia, such as the introduction of galaxy mapping technology, also put Namibia on the map with the research and development and innovation? It is a game changer, and do you call on other entities that are also within the same industry to do the same?
100%. I think, look, for us to remain competitive globally, for us to ensure that we have a sustainable and viable industry, these investments are required. Because if you think about it, I mean, we don't just cut and polish diamonds in Namibia. We don't just add value diamonds in Namibia. There are other countries that are doing that as well. So investments of this nature will help the industry to become much more sustainable. We will be able to compete globally with other players. So I think it's really essential that we look at this example that has been set and ensure that we follow that from an industry perspective for the long-term viability and sustainability of the downstream industry in Namibia.
Okay. Arun, what can Namibians expect? Is this the last sort of investments that you're making, or do we expect more investments in the future?
No, diamond industry already we invested. We have fund in our company, but we will transfer some fund to other place else also in Namibia, like pharmaceutical or solar or something. And in diamond, we will add jewelry for sure. This is our next goal.
So next goal. Well, gentlemen, thank you to the both of you, and wish you a blessed day ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.